mainly due to the changes Riot has made to the game as a whole. As we count down the top 10 best changes ever to League of Legends, we'll be measuring these by their effect on the entire experience of the game as a whole. Let's get started. At number 10, it's Team Builder. This queue mode created quite a nice experience by not having to worry about which role you got in your game. Being able to secure whatever role you wanted to practice things out or test a new strategy really made the whole experience a lot easier and led to a lot less toxicity, not having to deal with the bad parts of champion select, and led to better games overall. I often find myself resorting to Team Builder over any other normal game queue, since it's great for practicing and has a lot higher chance of being a decent game. The Team Builder experience is really good, and as a ranked Team Builder mode is approaching, it's cool to see the potential of this queue mode. Next up at number 9, it's the Smart Pings feature. This feature really skyrocketed the communication in League. I mean, just think, how often do you use the Smart Ping in a game? Easily dozens of times or more, and since communication in League is so incredibly important, the Smart Ping feature really has done a lot in terms of helping teamwork and making communicating a lot easier. And so it's made working with your team a little bit easier, and it's a really nice thing to have. At number 8, it's the custom game modes. Some of them have been a little bit hit or miss, but the game modes such as Ultra Rapid Fire and One for All have been a total blast and were a really refreshing change of pace to the experience in the game. Tons of fun were to be had in those game modes, and although they weren't around all the time, there's some pretty interesting ones that have come out over the years, and I'm sure there's some more awesome ones in store for us as well. And at number 7, it's Spectator mode. Being able to spectate people has done quite a lot for the content creation community, as well as it's improved the competitive camera work by a lot. Back then, you would actually have to play in a custom game with 6 players on each team if you wanted to spectate a game, and it was super buggy, and quite often the 6th player that was spectating might actually die and have an effect on the game. In addition, being able to spectate your friends is really awesome, especially when you're waiting for them to finish their game, so it's just a really awesome feature to have overall. At number 6, it's the addition of the new jungle items. The new jungle items that interact with Smite have resulted in pretty much the most diverse jungle of all time. It's worked wonders and has made it so that a boatload of champions are now viable in the jungle, and has really improved the jungle experience as a whole. In addition, the items are just super good, and the way that they interact with Smite is so cool that it's really made the jungle a lot more interesting and a lot more dynamic, and it really fixed a decent amount of the issues involving the jungle previously. At number 5, it's the addition of Trinkets. Trinkets really made the Vision game in League a lot smoother and overall a lot more fair to all of the roles, giving the game a really nice balance of vision control and making it so that buying wards as well as clearing them isn't something super annoying that you have to shell out a bunch of money for. Having the trinket is super convenient and made the game involve a lot less face checking, and so I think it made it a lot more fair for everyone. And at number 4, it's the addition of Sightstone and the support gold items. If anyone remembers, before these items were introduced, the support role was somewhat of a total snooze fest to play. It was a lot less fun than it is now, since you would buy your 2 gold per 10 items, Heart of Gold and Philosopher's Stone, and then spend literally every penny you got for the rest of the game on wards from there on out. And so it really hurt the support playstyle and made a lot of champions really weak, since you would never be able to get any items at all during the game unless you totally crushed your lane. Sightstone and the new support gold items allowed supports to play an initiation based playstyle and just play a lot more aggressive overall, and so it improved the role dramatically by giving them a source of income to allow them to actually build some items, and so it made the role a lot more fun to play and the support experience as a whole a lot better. And at number 3, it's the new Summoner's Rift map. Looking back on the old map, it's crazy how much better the new map actually is, and in my opinion, it really improves the gameplay experience. The old map was ugly as heck, and with the new map everything is just a lot smoother, a lot nicer to look at, and it just feels a whole lot better. Not to mention how the new map has improved content creation quite a bit, as well as the changes to things like the bushes and walls that came with the new map that overall improved the gameplay experience reasonably well. At number 2, it's a change that hasn't really gotten too much attention, but it's the opening of the Riot Games API. Now, for those of you who don't know what the Riot API is, it's essentially all of the stats and data involved with League, and a while back, they made all of that information public, and it's what makes fan sites like LoLKing, OP.gg, Champion.gg, and a boatload of other websites possible. Before the API was released, almost all of these sites either didn't exist and were impossible to make, or were extremely inaccurate and fairly poor creations. It really has allowed the community to flourish as a whole, and those sites add a lot to the League experience and really improve the high-level analysis of League as a whole. And at number 1, it's the addition of the Howling Abyss ARAM queue mode. Back in my day, we had to play ARAM on Summoner's Rift in a custom game. It sucked and was essentially irrelevant. The ARAM queue mode, however, is a total blast and is such a fun time to play in, and is the premier casual game mode for League. Being able to actually queue into the mode made the whole experience loads better and stopped a lot of the dodgers and trolls that really ruined the game if they got a bad champion. The new map made the ARAM game mode tons of fun as well, and really gave us an awesome alternative to Summoner's